Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. Famously said, "I'm going to be buying the top forever." MicroStrategy has got a levered operating strategy for Bitcoin. The demand for the spot ETFs, especially the new ones, net, has been far in excess of the supply from the miners every day. In some cases, up to 8 to 10 times as much demand as supply every day.
Michael Saylor, the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, and a visionary investor and advocate of Bitcoin. In this video, Saylor will share his insights on how did he explain the positive cycle of spot Bitcoin ETF attracting institutional capital? How did he reveal $10 billion worth of Bitcoin holdings with no plans to sell? How did he discuss his new AI offering accelerating cloud migration and managing capital actively? Don't miss this exciting and informative interview with Saylor.
Well, I think it's a very virtuous cycle. The spot ETFs have opened up a gateway for institutional capital to flow into the Bitcoin ecosystem. The demand for the spot ETFs, especially the new ones, net, has been far in excess of the supply from the miners every day. In some cases, up to 8 to 10 times as much demand as supply every day. This is a rising tide that's going to lift all boats. MicroStrategy has got a levered operating strategy for Bitcoin. But if you look at what these spot ETFs are doing, they're facilitating the digital transformation of capital. And every day, hundreds of millions of dollars of capital is flowing from the traditional analog ecosystem into the digital economy.
The SEC approved the first 11 spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States on January 10, 2024, following the approval of the first Bitcoin futures ETF in 2021. The spot ETF allow investors to buy shares of funds that directly hold Bitcoins, unlike the futures ETF that track the prices of Bitcoin futures contracts. The spot ETF have seen strong demand from investors, with some of them trading over $1 billion in volume on their first day. The spot ETF have contributed to the increase in Bitcoin's price and market dominance. Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoin Zella, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoin Zella offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoin Zella. Subscribe now.
And to your point, I mean, actually, Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss, he tweeted last week that the demand from the new Bitcoin ETFs, it's at least 10 times as much as the number of new tokens that are actually being minted by those miners. So really interesting supply-demand dynamics going on there. But let's talk about your existing holdings. As I mentioned in the intro, now worth around $10 billion. You have paper gains of about 70% or so, which a lot of people would like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits there?
Well, I've famously said I'm going to be buying the top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. So what we see right now is that Bitcoin has just emerged as a $1 trillion asset class. And it's alongside names like Apple and Google and Microsoft. But the difference between Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven is Bitcoin's an asset class. It's not a company. There's not enough room in the capital structure of those companies to hold $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. So Bitcoin's competing against gold, which is 10x what it is right now. It's competing against the S&P index. It's competing against real estate, $100 trillion plus asset class as a store of value. So we believe capital is going to keep flowing from those asset classes into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is technically superior to those asset classes. And that being the case, there's just no reason to sell the winner to buy the losers.
Bitcoin has been trading in a narrow range between $50,000 and $52,000 as it faces resistance from sellers and profit-taking. Bitcoin could see a breakout if it clears the $52,000 level, which would open the door for a rally toward $55,000 and $60,000. However, Bitcoin could face a correction if it drops below the $50,000 support level, which would expose the $48,000 and $46,000 levels as the next targets.
Well, we're going through a transition from on-premises to cloud, and AI is a really big driver of that transition. So there's a lot of enthusiasm for our new AI offering, and we built it into the cloud offering, just as you can see people excited about Microsoft's Copilot AI offering and driving their revenues. We think that our AI offering is also going to drive an acceleration of migration from on-premise to the cloud, and over time it'll allow us to continue to grow the business. Well, we're fortunate to be able to manage our capital structure actively and in a creative way. So sometimes we look to equity markets when that's the best way to acquire Bitcoin. But we've also done converts, and we continue to look at the convert market. We can refinance debt. We've refinanced our debt in the past and retired debt before. So we may issue debt, we may retire or refinance debt. We also are looking at potential preferred equity issuances or anything else that might be accretive to our shareholders. We try to be open-minded, prudent, thoughtful, and opportunistic as these opportunities present themselves.
MicroStrategy announced it had bought an additional 13,005 Bitcoins for $489 million in cash on June 21, 2021, bringing its total holdings to 105,085 Bitcoins, worth about $10 billion at current prices. MicroStrategy Company had an average purchase price of $26,080 per Bitcoin, inclusive of fees and expenses. The company also said that it intended to continue to deploy additional capital into its digital asset strategy.
Well, it's a natural decision for us given the success of our Bitcoin strategy and our unique status as the world's largest public company holder of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is an operating company that can actively manage its capital structure and its business operations with more flexibility than an investment trust, which is what these spot ETFs are. So we're going to develop software, we're going to generate cash flow, we're going to leverage the capital markets, all in order to accumulate more Bitcoin for our shareholders, and also to promote the growth of the Bitcoin network. Given the fact that the majority of enterprise value is now based upon those Bitcoin-related activities, it makes sense for us to call ourselves a Bitcoin development company in the same way as you see a real estate development company or a petroleum development company.
And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. Not know why you haven't subscribed yet? If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing